for those that cannot afford their water bill. We have several entities from G Card to Catholic Charities to the state of Michigan, RAP program, and also some additional dollars that we have for tenants inside the city of Flint that will be able to apply. But one of the things that we have found really wonderful inside the city of Flint that has never been done before is that we opened the Cloud and Pearson Road in the Hallwood Plaza at the old Huntington Bank location. We've been up and operational for almost a year now. And tell us a little bit about that, because you were a little skeptical going into this engagement because it's never been done in the city of Flint before, when we had a remote location that's operated by the city that people can engage the payment of their utility bills. Tell us how that operation has been going.
It's been going great. More and more people are realizing that it is open. Like I said, it's open Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is very valuable for the people who work till 5. And then also it's open today, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For anyone that has, that can get out there, that can get to City Hall during the week. It's open then. It's very valuable because people just drive through. They don't have to get out of their car when it's inclement weather. They just take a bank drive through. You just put your bill in there with your money, and then you can take your payment, get a receipt. During the tax season, we had our uptick of people paying during the property tax season to pay their taxes there as well. If you receive a water shutoff notice, you can pay it there as well. I mean, it's been very valuable. More and more people are learning about it. The busier we're becoming over there. I mean, it's been really, I've had people that live downtown and they prefer to go over there because they don't want to get out of their car, and they drive over there down to the north end to pay their bill and then come back. And they are actually closer to City Hall, but they prefer to go there because they don't have to make that long trek into the building. So it's been really a little game changer, and I just wish anyone that would like to come out and see it, we can give them a tour just so they can see it, and they can, like for any council person that wants to come out there, just so they can hear from the customers themselves how important that is and what an asset it is for the city. Yeah, especially that we have a presence down at that area, because that can bring in more business, because if they see the city's present there, other places can come.
Right. And if you want to see more about the things that we've been doing over the last few years, increasing the quality of life inside the city, and we've been doing a fantastic job in stabilizing our budget and doing different things. Tune in to Channel 12 today at 12 noon. You can watch then our last State of the City address, talking about all the great things that we have moving forward. But I also want to swing back to Pastor Pettigrew and myself, because, as young teenagers growing up in this community, we've had a lot of opportunities here provided by this community to help make us successful, but we have to engage it in a positive way. And one of those things about growing up in the city of Flint, that during the era of time that Pastor Pettigrew and myself was growing up, we had the opportunity for summer jobs. Summer jobs opportunities will be on the city council's agenda as well this summer. I mean, this upcoming Monday, and they have opportunity to put some American Rescue Plan dollars toward the activity of summer jobs for our young people. We know that sometimes kids are lightly monitored throughout the summer months because 5 hours have been given back to them in their day where they used to be in school, but in summer they're at home. Parents are still working, and there's not much activity if the kids are not proactive in sports or anything else. But we want to give them an opportunity to get a gainful employment where they can get self-esteem and also a skill set, and to catapult them moving forward. Pastor Pettigrew, talk about the days when you were making $3.35 an hour at that summer job.
Mayor, thank you for that. That is really a true statement. City of Flint, $3.35 an hour. I know people laugh at that, but Mayor and I, we've come a long way with that. I know you don't have time to do all this, City of Flint, but I come from a large family of 10, and having those summer jobs, 13 and 14 years of age, working in those parks, cleaning up in the other various places, is very helpful for my family. And they say an idle mind, and I don't go into a devil's workshop, but it can produce some negative things in the young people's lives. And open council of persons to vote that for that to take place, because it's very helpful to the family, and it's also helpful to our churches. When we're in the churches, instead of us just talking about other things that don't pertain to the Bible, we can talk about our youth. We can bring that back into our settings and say, aren't you happy our young people are off the streets and doing something productive? Thank you, Nick.
Well, it's very wonderful that we can have opportunity to provide this level of engagement for young people in our community, and it helps reduce youth violence or youth crimes in those summer months. And Councilwoman Mashat, Vice President Mashat, tell us, what is what when we put this up, and what can people expect? Because usually the things that happen in City Council are not really the agenda items that goes forth, because it's a distracting mechanism and measurement to keep people confused. But I encourage people to pay attention to how their representation is voting, and for you to weigh in and tell them what they need to be doing. But Candace, I know you run the special affairs meeting, and tell us, how does this process work? And these are two very special agenda items. And how did they arrive on your agenda? Candace?
Thank you, Mayor. So the way that this works, and I'm here. I'm sorry, we have a bit of a delay because I'm traveling. But the way that it works is when you have items that you either have more questions on, or there is an emergency moving them forward, it will come to special affairs, or sometimes it's just an item that needs to be brought forward. And so it'll come to special affairs. We have an opportunity to either have discussion, which oftentimes that's the whole point of it being in special affairs, is so that the council can discuss and work through what the item is, and in this case, discuss and work through youth jobs. And the administration will have an opportunity to come forward and discuss how many students were impacted by this, how many families were impacted by this. And I know that last year when the youth jobs came before us, there was only a set amount of money that was set aside, so only a set amount of youth were able to get a job. And the response to this was so overwhelming that there had to be a second ask, because there were more youth in the community, more families who realized the benefit of this. And it did exactly what you said, Mayor. It kept those students busy during those hours where they were going to be in school. It helped put some extra money in their pockets to where they had a little bit of financial independence. And unfortunately, even though we know it is not the child's job, sometimes families need help, and children love their families enough to the point where they do want to help provide some help in their family. So we were able to get that passed. So again, if we're able to go through that discussion and get this passed with special affairs, we have a council meeting that happens right after special affairs. Pass straight on council, and then if it passes through council, we can look forward to once again keeping our youth safe over the summer, making sure that they have just some extra money in their pocket and an opportunity to have access to different career paths. I think that's another thing that's important for us to point out, is this also expands the mind of children who might think some of the things that you see all the time. So maybe they'll go into sports, or maybe they will go into music or something like this. Well, this gives them an opportunity to expand their horizons and think they continue to thrive.
Well, we got to continue to work on that, and we got to look at these things with an optimistic eye. And this is what we've been doing. This is how we've been able to forge ahead and to really take a look at what we can do to improve the quality of life for residents inside the city of Flint. That's why I'm encouraging you all that has not had opportunity to look at all the things that's been going on inside the city of Flint in the last couple of years, to tune in to Channel 12 today at noon to watch our last State of the City address, and it tells you exactly what's going on. And I like to say, Vanessa, that we have receipts. And Vanessa, you're here each and every day in City Hall, working very hard to make sure that people get their concerns addressed, and we're working through those requests. Providing speed humps. Speed humps was not on the horizon 3 years ago, but we have now put these into position to be able to curb speeders in our residential areas. Tree grants, being able to cut trees on public and private property that we're engaging this year. Roof repair programs. I'm sure more than 90 residents from the city of Flint has just been contacted about their opportunities for getting roofs, and then also with our partners from Habitat, G-Card, Metro are also engaged in those processes. And so we're putting these dollars to work for you, but definitely we have to pay attention from those that would try to penalize the people in the community with nefarious intents. And we've been doing great as he was leading the people into the promised land. And so we will not, as he was leading the people into the promised land. And so we will not faint not, and we will always stand and be of good courage and continue to move things forward. But we also have to try the Spirit by the Spirit and make sure that what we're witnessing out there and what we're taking a look at is of God and what He would want us to do. And definitely, I talk about living in a bonus, uh, using the blessing of life to be able to do something great and good. But pay attention, everybody. Pay attention to the votes because that's how City Council speaks. They speak through the activity of their votes or their attendance. Uh, Many of these things, the water rate reduction plan or the water rate stabilization plan, was supposed to be on our council meeting this past Wednesday. It had to be pushed to this Monday because it failed to have a quorum. Many council members were not there to be able to effectuate the business of the city, and we had to move it. And thanks to Vice President Candace Mashat and Dr. Liddell Lewis and Judy Priestley and Leon Alameen for being engaged and being able to push this forward because this is important. Because people don't want to really, like you said, Vanessa, they don't step up and say anything until they see an increase, and then they say, "How did this happen?" But this is the preactive and measurement to make sure this does not happen when we have a provider that's increasing our rate. We need to stabilize and adjust for our residents so we don't have to pass it on to the end user. Yep. And so right now, I think we just lost Candace, but definitely we want to make sure we move forward. It's a great Saturday.
I'm still here.
Okay, I lost somebody. I hope it wasn't the radio station, but definitely we want to make sure we tell everybody thank you and God bless. I love you, Mom. Thank you, WFLT. God bless.